doing the best you can, even though you do have sieges of ill health and inharmony and trouble. If God is with you, it doesn't make any difference. If God is with you, you have everything, because he shows everything passes away. The beautiful flowers come, a little while they're gone. People are born, and after some time they pass away as far as the body is concerned, but not the presence of God within them. That's the part we must be familiar with. That's the attitude we must have. No matter what happens, God is with me. I will not leave his side. His master said, leave all else but never God's side. I keep saying that all the time, not only to myself but to everybody that I come in contact with. That's the eternal truth. Nothing else is lasting except the presence of God. Know that. Then you are living victoriously, no matter what you are doing, or even if trouble seems to be with you. Do not bow to that negative state of mind, but with all your strength and might seek that eternal presence of God, and realize that the consciousness of God is operating in you as your mind, and all these difficulties, seeming difficulties, must pass away. If you have a strong mind, realizing it is God's presence in you, and you can overcome all things if you can but do that. That's why we say in our prayer, I am not this body. Why do we say it over and over again? Gradually it will penetrate into our consciousness and we'll realize it. We do not realize it, that's all. I am not this body. I am the eternal energy of thy presence, O Father, which is eternal, doesn't pass away, does not pass away, and in which I find all fulfillment. If we can but realize that, then we will live victoriously. That's why we follow self-realization, those of us who do, because it not only gives us the theory of victoriously living, it gives us the ways and the means to accomplish that victoriously living, or victorious living. It shows us how to do it. It's all right for me to stand up here and tell you to do it. How are you going to do it? You're going to follow one who did it. You're going to follow one who knew God was with him all the time and left the ways and the means for those who wish or who will enough to do it, to find the same as he found, the bliss and peace of God. So, keep this positive consciousness. Why shouldn't we? Why should we be pushed around when we're God's children? Why shouldn't we feel what is our birthright? He put us here. We didn't ask to come. Of course, we have conditions which we have brought upon us, which are our own doing. But nevertheless, God is the cause and end of all things. Therefore, we have a right to demand, Father, I'm sick and tired of not understanding these things. I want to know thee. I have that right because my soul tells me I have that right. Here I am. Take care of me. And if you mean it and feel it and have that mental attitude, it will happen. There is no question about that. The mind is supreme when it's backed up by the realization that it is God's consciousness in you. And so one other reference at this time from our master: thought is a force, even as electricity or gravitation. The human mind is a spark of the almighty consciousness of God. And yet we allow it to lead us into this thing we do not want to go into and into that thing. Why? Because we do not realize it is God's consciousness, and that we are a part of that. We are the one who should direct the mind, not the mind direct us, which it does. Let us realize that. And so Master continues, I could show you that whatever your powerful mind believes very intensely would instantly come to pass. Think of it. Why not? God can do anything. Of course, he follows his law, but sometimes he supersedes it. Take on the cross. There was the thief. All's well that ends well. This day you shall be in paradise with me. So let us not be hoodwinked by looking into the future that things are going to be different. Right now demand, Father, I may be weak, but still I know you are in me. Give me the strength to go ahead and do and live victoriously. And so that takes us to the next point, the power of will. The power of will is supreme if united with God's will. Alone I can do nothing. All the saints say that. But when thou art in me, O Father, all things are possible. Now, the all things, that is what we must not misunderstand. All things means those things of lasting eternal truth are possible. That's what we want, not just to materialize an automobile or a house or a wife or anything like that, but to know the source of all things, God himself. Then all things are possible according to his will. Now, will is a very important thing. As I said in the beginning, this path is not for lazy people. It is not for lazy people. Those who use their will and those who unite their will with God's will are the ones who win. Meditation is the greatest way to unite your will with the presence of God. Meditation in which you supersede ego consciousness, which is behind the limited human will. Human will is limited. But there comes a time when you feel the presence of God within you that you know it is God's will that is operating, not yours. Feeling that all things are possible, and that the all things means the kingdom of God, not this worldly kingdom. That isn't what you want. That passes away. When death comes, that will have to be left behind. But when you feel all things of God, that's living victoriously, surely. And one other point before I leave that subject of will is that all things, the final step is not your will. It is not your will united with God's will, but it is God's grace. He's the one that